All right, go ahead.
All right, guys. First off, thank you guys very much for being here, and congratulations on making Success Club. I know we have, Greg said we had over 50 people who are scheduled to be on this call, so that is huge. And there's two main reasons that I love the fact that so many people are in Success Club. The first reason is if you're in Success Club, you're helping new people every single month. I mean, anybody can help, 3 or 4 of their friends and just continue with helping those people. But actually getting new people into the business is huge. Those are the people who, you're helping out more people, but in turn, you're also helping out your business. And obviously, that's very important. The second thing is what Greg talked about, and that is the leads that we're getting right now. So I'm sure everybody on this call, if you're Success Club 5, you're going to start getting in your Emerald, you're going to start getting those free customer leads. Now, I think I got 10 or 11 of them this month because they changed the qualifications. So I got, I think, 10 regular leads, and I've actually had 3 or 4 that have responded to my initial emails. So that is huge, right? Because you're building, you're able to build your the amount of people that you're working with outside of your friends list, right? But then the second thing is if you get Success Club 10, you get Success Club leads. And I know Greg was talking about this on the post, on a post earlier, but I got 5 Success Club leads. Basically, including everything that they purchased, I basically got $250 commission from this month for being Success Club 10. Now, obviously, not a lot of people are becoming Success Club 10. Hopefully, a lot of you will be. But you will get those Success Club leads, and it's going to be a lot more than it used to be. I know it used to be 1 or maybe 2, but you also got to think about like those people who are buying Shakeology and getting assigned to you, they're going to really love it. For the most part, I think they said 80% of them actually stick with it. That means next month you're going to have 80% of those people who bought this month continuing to buy. So basically, I think it's going to really give us an amazing boost. So for those 2 reasons, Success Club is huge, right? You want to continue building your business and then also getting those free customers and those free leads who can potentially become coaches, right? So I want to start off the call today. I'm going to give you guys 5 tips. And these come from some of the tips that I've spoken to in the past, but these are the 5 most important tips that I have used to become, gotten into Success Club. Before I go into that, I'll tell you a little bit about my journey as a coach. So starting from month 1, and that was 3 years ago, I have hit Success Club 5 every single month. It was a no matter what. So I didn't do it. I mean, this was the one thing in my business that I would say, no matter what, I will hit Success Club 5. And like Greg said, when it was my first and second month, let's just say that a lot of my family members decided they want to buy Shakeology because I needed to tell them I need this to start my business off well. And they helped me. In return, what happened? I got my mom and a whole bunch of other family members actually involved in it because they actually tried it, right? Because they bought it, and then they wanted to continue to get it. So since then, I've been Success Club 5. Now, I've been Success Club 10 now for 23 months. And it's something that as you go, it actually gets easier and easier. And we'll go over that in one of my tips, but when you first see Success Club and you see the mountain, I know I'm preaching to the choir, it actually seems like it's unattainable to do for 36 months or 38 months. It doesn't seem like that, but just focus on 1 month at a time, 1 person at a time, 1 phone call or 1 invite at a time. And that will build up into you getting Success Club. Now, I think this year I have 115 Success Club points since January. So I've been doing this for a little while. I've got a couple different systems, and I'll tell you guys, give you some of my advice as far as tips. But if you guys have any other questions, obviously we'll take questions at the end. But it's something that definitely builds up over time. So let me start on the first and most important tip of all. And this one is you need to focus on inviting. Now, I want to kind of differentiate from inviting from doing things on Facebook, because there's a lot of times that you may realize this afterwards, or you may never realize it, but you're doing a lot of busy work. And what do I mean by busy work? I mean, you're going on Facebook, you're checking in with your groups, and then you get another message. So you check in with that message, and then you see another notification because somebody replied to your comment, and you go back in there. And before you know it, you spend an hour and 15 minutes on there, and you don't have time to actually invite people. So we've got to focus on inviting, like making contacts with new people, doing follow-ups, that kind of stuff. Now, I know a lot of coaches, when they think about this, they think, well, how am I supposed to support my current customers? And I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I say that you should divvy up your time equally. So what I do, and this has worked very well for me, is I will check in at night and in the morning. Those are the only 2 times I check in. Throughout the day, I'm inviting people. I'm looking for coaches. I'm, trying to help my current coaches, but I'm not checking in on Facebook at that time. Because when you think about it, how many people on this planet have a fitness coach who talks to them twice a day to answer all of their questions 7 days a week? Nobody, right? Nobody on this planet. So we are doing an amazing job for helping people, but you cannot let yourself be out there 24/7. You can't let yourself be at a beck and call and just currently respond to anybody who has questions. You're going to get to them either at morning or at night, but it doesn't have to be all over the place. And I'm sure Greg can talk to this too. It can kind of get very overwhelming because you're not actually inviting. You think you are because you're doing busy work, but you're not. So focus on inviting and check yourself. So if you're going back and checking messages and stuff like that, and it's not an active invitation, put it on pause. Those questions you can answer later, or for the most part, you'll notice this too. If it's in one of your challenge groups, you'll come back in at night and there was a question that was posted at like 10 in the morning. It's going to be answered already by some of the other people in the group. And they're going to feel like, hey, they're more active participants because they answer this person's question. It's going to boost up their confidence and they're going to continue with their program. Then you're going to have potential coaches. And it's just basically going to be helping your entire team. So allow them to do some of the answering for you. Okay, my second tip is take a lot of your conversations to one-on-one conversations. Speak to people on Facebook Messenger, speak to them on text. Best way, obviously, is on the phone. I know a lot of us are uncomfortable with that. But don't just put up an invite, like let's say on your Facebook wall, and then expect people everybody who's interested to like it or to comment. That is a great start, and you do want to put that out there, but you've got to put a bunch of different seed down. You don't want to just put your seed down in one specific area. You've got to do multiple different things at a time. And so when you put that post up, yes, it's important to reach out to all the people who like it and comment on it, but that doesn't mean that those are the only people you speak to. I'm sure you guys have heard this, but only 6% of your Facebook friends will actually see your post. Only 6%, unless you boost it, unless you pay for ads, only 6% of the people who like your page or your friends will actually see that. And if you're focusing on 6%, you're not going to be hitting Success Club. So definitely reach out to those people individually. Reach out to the people who are commenting on your posts, on your other posts that maybe aren't about challenge groups. Go to friends' walls and comment on some of their posts, so that way they can sort of feel that you're actually out there to try and help them and to find out what's going on with them. And by doing that, you're going to get it's going to come back around to you. They're going to start asking you questions about what's going on. But you can get out there and you can start posting and answering questions and stuff on other people's walls too. So that's the second tip. Take it to a one-on-one. A lot of times people will be too nervous to do it in public. But if you take it to one-on-one, it's much, much easier. Okay. The third tip is, Success Club is not made by inviting people that month. So you don't make Success Club this month by inviting people this month. You make Success Club next month and the following month from inviting now. Success Club is, I say, anywhere between 2 to 6 months basically into the future. So when you're inviting, you're basically inviting for people to join your challenge group in 2 to 6 months. Yes, you'll have those random people who will decide, hey, I'm all in, let me do that, but that's going to be far from everybody, and you're not going to be able to rely on that strictly for Success Club. So what does this mean? This means you've got to continue to be consistent, right? You've got to keep going out there inviting people. Even though you hit Success Club 10, and I'll hit Success Club 20, 30, I'm still inviting every single day, because if I stop inviting, my momentum will slow. I don't necessarily tell them to purchase this month, but if they want to purchase this month, I don't tell them to stop, because that'll kind of hold some people back. But I still continue fighting to get people into my next group and my next group. What you're going to find out is when you talk to people and they tell you not right now or no, that just means that from then on, they're going to have a laser focus on you. They're going to be watching everything you do to see if you're consistent, to see if you're doing your workouts, if you're living, you're basically walking the walk and talking the talk. They're going to realize that. And then several months down the road, they're going to come forward and decide to join your challenge. but they're going to tell you not right now. And that's why you've got to be consistent to show them that this is working. Because if you're not consistent, I've seen this too, where you're consistent a month and then you're not consistent the next month. Well, those people who were asked by you are going to say, you know what? I knew this was a scam, because if it wasn't a scam, they would have been continuing to do this. And now they're not posting anymore about it. So I know that this wouldn't, I'm so glad I didn't do it, because this would have never worked. But you've got to be consistent so that doesn't happen. I can tell you that does happen. Okay, the fourth tip. The fourth tip is going to be leverage the sale for that month. Now, I want to lead with this. I want to lead with what not to do. So 21 Day Fix and 21 Day Fix Extreme are on sale this month, right? And so I tell everybody that they should do 21 Day Fix, right? That's not the case. We have our potential customer, we have our friends, our family members, and we line them up with a specific program that's going to work best for them. If that's P90, then we give them P90. If that's Max 30, if that's 21 Day Fix, perfect. But if you've talked to people in the past who you've thought, you know what, 21 Day Fix would be amazing for these people, and they've never gone through with it. They've never followed through. They said they're going to do it. They didn't. Or they just said, hey, that's too expensive. You need to pull out your list, the papers that you've written down from taking notes on when you've spoken to people, and you need to go and reach out to everybody, because they need to know, hey, listen, I remember I told you about this program called 21 Day Fix. Well, let me explain to you again about what it's like. And the reason why I'm explaining it to you again is because I just found out today that for some reason, Beachbody is going to reduce it to the price of a single Shakeology. So you get the program for free. And I know you wanted to try Shakeology because of XYZ. And I have written down XYZ, when they say that they never eat breakfast or whatever. But you're going to be able to tell them, like Greg said, you're going to be able to get this program for free. And I can tell you how many people that have actually followed through with it because of that. And they're like, wait, I get a program for free? Okay, I'll do it. And they'll put it on the credit card or whatever it is. But you want to leverage that specific sale for that month. Not necessarily with everybody, but everybody you talked to in the past who you could, would 21 Day Fix would be perfect for. I actually did this today. I got 2 people who are going to buy the challenge pack because they had told me in January and one in March that, hey, it's a little bit too expensive right now. I can't afford it. Actually, it was in December because I think January was when it's on sale. So I reached out to them, and they're going to be in my new group. And if I had never reached back out to them, or I had just written them off and said, oh, they told me no, I would have never had these 4 Success Club points, right? So you got to make sure you never write anybody off. Definitely leverage the sale for that month. Okay, the 5th tip is I want you to, when a new program comes out, this is a really great opportunity of doing kind of what Greg was talking about actually on the post today. It's doing a test group. So when people hear about a test group, they think, oh my God, like this is a test. I'm going to be like the first person who ever's done this, and it's just really exciting for them. And so something like size would be a great opportunity to do a test group. But I want you to think a little bit on a different scale. There's a way that you can approach people to make it like a test group. And this is what I've done in the past with people who are like the naysayers, the people who have told me, no, I'm never going to do that. I don't do this gym stuff. And then believe me, as a police officer, I can tell you how many people refuse because they think they're big bag cops and they refuse to do workouts at home, right? And so this is what I tell them. I say, hey, you know what? There's this new program that came out, right? And I don't know how good it is. I've heard that it's pretty hard. It's called Max 30. I don't know if it's something that would even be difficult for you. It might be easy, but I've heard that it's very, very hard. Would you be willing to join a group? It'll be like a test group where we have all of our other police officer buddies just to see if it's something that would make it hard for you or not. And by hitting that point, I can't tell you the number of cops who says, okay, I'll do it. I'll give it a try. And then lo and behold, they can't keep up, right? Because they're like, oh my God, this stuff is crazy. But they would have never, if I had approached them with just the straight, hey, what are your goals and stuff like that, they would have never tried a home-based workout. But doing something like that where you make it into a test group, or hey, would you test this out for me? Hey, I've been drinking this stuff called Shakeology. It's really worked for me. It's helped my mom do XYZ and get off medication. I don't know if it's for you, but would you test it and try it out? Because I want to see, with somebody with your ailments, if it would help you when it comes to arthritis or whatever. And I can tell you it's going to, but I'm just making it into a test group so that way they will give it a shot. And by doing this, we're not tricking people. We're getting people to actually try the programs. And I can tell you that afterwards they're going to be thanking you. Oh, thank you so much for doing this. Thank you for helping me lose weight or helping me with my arthritis, whatever it is, they're going to thank you for doing it. So those are my 5 tips, but I want to give you an extra one because I think it's important to give you 6. This is a kind of important one, and it's kind of a sore subject for people. Now, this starts off easy and kind of works its way into something a little bit more difficult, but you need to find people who know more about that specific thing that you need to improve on, and you need to learn from them. What does that mean? Well, that means when I first started as a coach, I reached out to my coach, Jason Wagner, and Jason Wagner's coach, Greg Armfield, and I started to learn the business about doing the message boards. And you know what? They were awesome at it. I wasn't too great at it. So what I did is I found somebody, I started to reach out and figure out who is it that could teach me this stuff. And so I started to look for personal development. So I started with a blogging service from Steve McDonald. It's called Practical Social Media. And I actually paid for that because I wanted to learn about this Facebook thing. It sounded like it could work for me. And so I learned as much as I could, and it was really working for me. But I also paid $200 or $300 for that, right? Because you got to pay to get the good stuff. Then after that, I felt like, I need a little bit more. I want to be a little bit more laser focused with this, with my business and how well I'm doing. And what I saw is all the coaches who were ever a part of what's called Powder Blue Productions, which is Chalene Johnson's group, the Christine Dwyers, her sister, all those people, the Danielles, those people are very successful coaches. So I said, you know what? Chalene must have something really good going on. And so I looked into her stuff and I said, well, first my wife brought it to our attention. She said, Chalene Johnson's doing this training. Would you be willing to do it? And I said, well, of course I will. How much is it? And when my wife told me it was $2,000, it was kind of like, what? How much is it? Let me tell you that was the best $2,000 that I've spent. I've made that back in probably 3 months. And my knowledge, I have so much knowledge because she has instilled it on me and she over-delivers with it. That I've been able to create a system that I don't have to be constantly working like I was before. So what do I mean by this? Well, I don't mean that you should go out and look at Steve McDonald and look at Chalene. You've got to look and find people that are going to work for you. But don't be afraid to go out there and pay for something so you can learn. The free stuff is great, and the free stuff will get you to a certain limit. But let me tell you, the free stuff, if it was all free, we wouldn't have to pay for things. There's things that people leave out, and that's because there's little bits and pieces of that knowledge that they're not giving all of it because, that's their business too, right? So they're not going to give it to you all for free. So you gotta reach down sometimes. You gotta grab the money, and you've got to put some money where your mouth is, because that is, I think, something that was very hard for me at first. But I can tell you that every time I did, it paid me back tenfold. And I can do training videos and teach you guys about some of the stuff that she has taught me, but there is no way that you're going to be as successful when I teach you rather than her, because she just has a knack for it. And so that's my last tip, is to continue to develop yourself. Find people who know more than you and learn from them. And if you have to pay for that, you're going to have to pay for it. It's a tax write-off too. Okay. Last part before I send it back to Greg. This is something unrelated to Success Club, but I think it's something that's kind of important for you to do consistently. And that is check yourself. What do I mean by check yourself? I mean, go to your Facebook page, your Facebook wall, your business page, and look at the page, face value. If this was not you and you came to this page, would it seem like it's a Beachbody salesman? Would it seem like you'd want that person to be your coach? Or would it seem like that person's just after making money? Or would it seem like that person is really trying to help people and has all this information for free? You've got to check yourself. And I do this weekly. So, I'll be just randomly posting throughout the day, and I will have a day, usually it's Saturday mornings, where I will just pull up my wall and I will look at it and I will say, okay, did I mention a lot of stuff about Beachbody? Did I mention, XYZ? Does it look like I'm a salesman page? Because I'm sure you've all been there, right? Where you're looking at, like, somebody invites you to something and, like, it's an It Works distributor or something, right? And it's just like everything's like it works, including like the even photo that they have for their profile. And it's like, oh my God, like, do these people even check their page? Because this is nasty. I mean, you don't want to get like that. And I know none of us are like that, but you got to check yourself, because you may have a post or two in there where you're like, you know what, maybe I should hide that from my timeline, because you're going to have a lot of people coming to your page. Maybe not now, maybe not tomorrow, but I can tell you, I think I have 11,500 likes. And so when somebody likes my page, they first come to your profile page or come to your business page. And they say, they take about 10 seconds to go, what is this person really about? I'm going to make my determination based off of what this page looks like. And they look at your page. So if you're not checking it, other people are, and you're probably wondering why people aren't responding to your messages and stuff. It's because you may have a thing up there that you shouldn't. Because I can tell you, I have those up sometimes too, but you got to continue to check yourself. And as long as you do that, you'll catch yourself before you get in too deep. All right, Greg. Is that good, brother?
Yes, thank you, Mark. So I'm sure that people have some questions. So if you want to just take yourself off mute and ask Mark some questions.
Question about the comment you made about being a tax write-off. PSMU is a tax write-off?
Yes, if you have a blog that you're directly learning from, it's personal development, you have a blog that's directly Beachbody related, even if it's like, let's say mine's a law enforcement blog, however, it's related to my business because my law enforcement and my business are co-mingled. So yes, all that is a tax write-off. All those different trainings and social media, anything you do to spend money to learn how to be a better business person is a tax write-off.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Thanks.
I had a question about, sorry.
I was just going to, one other thing. I was just going to reiterate what Mark said is if you've got to spend money on anything that you wouldn't normally spend money on because you're a coach, it's a tax write-off. Just about everything you can write off. Okay? Sorry, go ahead.
Excuse me. I just had a question about your notebooks. You said different notebooks for like each workout program, and then you just write the names down in it.
So what I do is I get on the phone with a lot of people. So I'll set up communication time to call, or even if I'm doing Facebook message, I have a notebook and it has everybody's name and the date that I spoke to them. And basically, it just goes over what we talked about. I kind of do it freehand. I don't write everything, but I write the important things, like if they have 2 kids, they have a problem with time, if they have a problem with nutrition, and then I write down the program that comes to mind that I think would be best for them. Whether or not I tell them about it, it's still written in my book. So if, 2 months later, somebody comes back like Leslie Hernandez did today, I say, hey, I've talked to hundreds of people. I don't remember what Leslie said 6 months ago. I turn to my page and it has what Leslie said on my page. And I'm old school. I use the notebooks. I like writing stuff down. A lot of people use the apps and Google Forms and stuff like that. I found that I'm better this way, and it's quicker, especially when I'm talking to people on the phone. I don't have to be on my computer and typing, but that's how I do it. And then I go through and I'll go through, and this is what I'll do every month. So this month, we have June, right? So I will go through here and I will look from everybody from April and May that I spoke to, and I will review them, and then I will reach back out to them. So I will follow up with them. So even people who told me no, I will reach back out to them and I will ask them, a very important question. I say, hey, how are things going? I say something to the effect of, are you seeing like some pretty incredible results? Do you want to keep doing what you're doing? Or are you interested in trying something else? And I'd say maybe 50% of them say, what I'm doing is not working. What else do you have in mind? And these are the people that I've told no. But that's why I keep it in my notebook so I can go back and look at those. Because you don't start every month fresh. Like, I know the Success Club points start fresh, but you work off of the last 6 months that you've been inviting people from. And as long as you keep good notes, you're going to be able to go back. And there's been times when I haven't kept good notes, and like I've been driving, so I haven't been able to write it. And then that person will message me back and I'll be like, I don't even remember what we were talking about. And it makes you feel horrible. And you may lose, the sale, or you may lose that person as a challenger, but it just goes to show you I should have pulled over and written my notes while I was going. So does that kind of make sense?
That makes perfect sense. I'm old school too, so I got notes and notebooks and stuff everywhere.
Yes, I've got a bunch. I got to go look for mine sometimes. I hide them upstairs.
Hey, Mark. Mark, I have a question for you.
Go for it.
You're a test group. How do you actually approach that? Knowing that they would have to actually purchase Shakeology or that particular new program, how do you encourage them to make that investment?
Really, when it comes down to my niche, we've got like this, I don't know what the word is. They like to accept a challenge. And that's just specific to the police officers and firefighters. They like, if you tell them they can't do something, they're going to prove to you that they can. So I just approach it in that way. I say, hey, listen, we have this group and stuff that's starting. I want to start basically a test group to see if, this kind of program is something that would push you to your limits or not. This is the name of the program and this is what you get. So I don't even tell them that they can buy, I don't ever tell anybody they can buy a program without Shakeology. Whenever I'm talking to them, I will tell them about the challenge pack, just straight out. I mean, that's just the way it is. And when people ask me about it, I will explain to them that, hey, yes, you can purchase it as an individual package, but then I make sure that they understand that they're actually losing out on some money. They're going to lose out on some results, and give them and show them the value of what it's done for me based on the stories I'm going to tell them about it. But generally, I won't even tell them, hey, it's just the program. I'll tell them this is a complete package and this is what we're going to do. And that kind of, it fires people up. At least it fires up first responders for some reason, and they want to prove you wrong. So,
okay, thanks.
Perfect.
Mark, as being a relatively new coach, my hardest problem is finding people to invite. I've never been a big social butterfly, and I don't have a huge Facebook following, and so trying to figure out who to ask is just my biggest suggestions.
Yes. I think it's important, something that you actually said there, where you said, you don't have a large following, or you don't have a lot of people following you on Facebook. It's important, obviously, to grow that, right? So I think one thing that really helped me and benefited me was every single day inviting new people to become your friend. Like, you go on Facebook, you find people that you know, family members, friends of family members, friends of friends of friends that actually know you, and you start inviting them, because you want your pool of people that you speak to and that you post this information on to be much bigger, right? And then just start creating value. Start giving people free information, talking to them about your journey, giving them tips, maybe something that you found out from reading one of the nutrition guides, or something you saw another coach post, or some motivation that you want to post up there. But obviously, the more eyes you get on that, the better. So you got to start building it up. And that means every day inviting people to become your friend and just building it up till you get to that point where you have enough people. Right now, when you start. Go ahead.
I started a challenge group, and
Perfect.
That has helped. I mean, I've got 50 people participating, which is huge to me.
That's awesome.
So I figure that's a place to start.
That is a huge place to start. And one thing you don't want to forget about is referrals too, because all those 50 friends, they have 50 friends, and they have 50 friends. And before you know it, you can have 2,500 friends. So you can ask for people to, let's say, just come out and tell you how the program is doing. And I'll do this too. I'll sometimes reach out to people who have just said, you know what, this is an amazing program. Please let me know if there's anything that I could do. And I would say, would you post on your wall and tag me your experience? I'm not going to tell you what your experience is. I want to hear from your words what you think of what I'm doing right now. And so they will post it on their wall, and they will have something like, well, this is what Coach Marc has done for me. This is what he does for all of his other friends and family members. And he has said that, I can invite some of my friends and family members to join his next group as well. I've lost this much weight. I feel so much better. And they can post that on their wall, and that reaches all of their friends. And in turn, you're going to get more invites. You're going to get more people that you can speak to. You're going to get more friends. And it kind of builds exponentially. So anything that can build the amount of people that see you're basically the eyes on your page, the better. But you also still have your warm market. So you can talk to family or friends or people that you know. And the one thing, I'm an introvert. So I know a lot of people don't realize that, but I hate going to parties. I hate going to that kind of stuff. But my wife has been my savior, because she tells me, no, you need to go to this party. No, you need to go to this birthday. So I have a 4 and a 6-year-old. So I have a birthday party every weekend. So I go out to these birthday parties so I can see people and meet them. And I wear my shirt. And so people see me and they go, hey, you look like you've lost some weight, or you look like, you know, you're really healthy, or you're able to keep up with all these kids. What is it you're doing? And parties like that, I mean, I can come home with like 6 or 7 different people that I'm going to be adding to my list. Whether I say, hey, I'm going to send you an invite on Facebook right now, just you know, click accept, or just, you know, handwritten notes with their name and their email address on it. You can connect with people that way. So there's literally like thousands of ways of connecting, but you got to find what's best for Jerry. Like what works best for you. Some people do the Facebook thing and they're awesome. Some people do Instagram and they're great. Some people do the message boards like Greg, and I did horrible on those, and I felt like I was a failure. But I went out and I tried something else. And I mean, look at me now. Now I'm doing pretty well because I found something else that I could work with. So when you find that, you know, you want to grab it and you want to take hold of it and keep trying new things too. But when you find something, you should definitely keep it.
Right. Thanks.
No problem, Jerry. You're going to do great. Just keep a positive attitude, much like John was saying. Everything, you can look at everything as a positive or a negative, right? I mean, you have all these people in your life who have never probably heard of what a coach does, and you can change all of their lives. They've never been experienced to any of this, as opposed to me, who everybody on my Facebook page knows about what I do. You have so much opportunity now. You have so many people who don't know what you're doing that you're going to be able to help. It's just kind of amazing, like when you think of it that way. So everything you can think of in a positive light.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that, you know, I know that they're watching now because they want to see if I'm really going to stick with it. So
that's exactly right. That's exactly right. You're going to prove them right, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Mark, I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Did you do the Smart Success Club with Shalene, or was it a different one?
No, I did Marketing Impact Academy.
Okay.
The Smart Success is the one I'm doing that one next for sure. But the Marketing Impact Academy, I think it's a little bit more intense. I know the Smart Success, I think, is like 3 days or something. The Marketing Impact Academy, I think it's 10 weeks. And so she has a bunch of different, and then you actually get invited to her live event where she teaches you for 4 days. But that's like the higher tier thing. At the time, she didn't have the Smart Success. Otherwise, I probably would have started with that. But I did start with the Marketing Impact Academy.
So you would suggest maybe the Smart Success first and then Marketing Academy second?
This is what she says. Okay. And she kind of explained it to us this way. She said, think of what you need the most help with. Do you need the most help with learning how to set up a system to make your business work for you? Or do you need a system to make yourself less busy? Do you need to create more time so that you can create a business? Which one's more important? If you are the kind of person who you just don't have any time to do anything, Smart Success. But if you're the kind of person who you want to and create like a method, a try and true method for just finding more customers and getting more people involved, then you would go with Marketing Impact Academy. So it's whatever is most important, or what do you think you need the most right now?
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, anyone else?
Those are a lot of great, amazing. So I know you guys are thinking, and I appreciate that.
Well, thank you very much, Mark. We appreciate you, taking our racehorses here and giving them some great tips for hitting Success Club in the future.
Yes, you guys are all amazing. You guys have so much potential, like I said before. Just think about it. I mean, all the great things you guys are doing for people. You've helped at least 3 people this last month. And the sky's the limit. Honestly, you guys' potential is amazing. You guys are great people for doing this. Thank you.
All right. Good night, all.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.